All right, there you go.
Okay. 70% of voters say that there should be a national ID card. Does this statistic suggest that citizens are for or against more lenient or stricter immigration laws? How does this relate to or support or rebut a desired increase in border control? How does your party's platform enforce the idea of a national ID card?
Well, I believe that as a nation of immigrants, I believe in immigration, but I believe it should be done only through legal avenues. And like you said, 70% of the people agree that there should be a national ID card. I believe that that's saying that people want to live in a country where there are only legal immigrants. They only immigrate through legal avenues.
I'd like to say that, yes, being a nation of immigrants, I believe that all people have the right to freely travel to America in search of obtaining a new life. America is a melting pot. None of us, in reality, would really be here if it weren't for our ancestors that immigrated over. And so based on that statistic, I understand that most of the voters would like more border control and a national ID card, and I am for more border control because anyone who comes over to America, I believe, will be granted amnesty, but they should be granted that amnesty through legal measures. And for those who choose to cross illegally, the process for getting a green card and citizenship and your voter ID card and the right to vote would be greatly extended in order to keep the people traveling over here in legal terms.
I can't disagree with you guys. I am absolutely for that. I don't believe that immigration is necessarily a problem. However, it does need to be more controlled so immigrants who do cross over the border can become legal, and our rights can be extended to them. I don't think it's a necessary thing to have a national ID card, because if we're here legally, I think everybody else should be. And immigration is not a bad thing. You know, we are a nation of immigrants. A lot of jobs are taken by immigrants, and that's totally fine. But we just need to control it more. We don't want overpopulation. We don't want over-abuse of the system.
The truth is, the stuff that comes with illegal immigration is bad. The majority of illegal immigrants, well, not the majority, but a lot of what constitutes illegal immigration are things like human trafficking and drug trafficking. And if you want to enter this country legally, there is a way that it can be done.
I'm sorry, but where did you get that statistic?
Well, that statistic, that was just common knowledge that a lot of the people that enter this country illegally will enter transporting drugs or human trafficking because, well, if they entered illegally, they probably wouldn't be doing those things.
Well, I'm sorry, but I can't agree with you there because you have no basis to support that statement.
All right, so are you saying that people who go through the entire legal immigration process are the type of people that are committing the crimes?
No, I'm saying that you can't generalize a whole population of people who are illegal that are human trafficking, drug addicts. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying there's no basis behind your statement.
I'm agreeing with you in saying that you can't pinpoint all illegal immigrants as people who would commit those crimes and participate in those activities. But I disagree with what you said on anyone who comes here would be granted all the rights that we have, because I believe that until those illegal immigrants reach the status of citizen in the United States, they would be ineligible for services such as Medicare, welfare, Social Security, and having the right to vote.
No, that's not a reasonable request. That's a good point. But I wasn't trying to completely shoot down your idea. And I know that it's, there. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying you can't generalize.
Okay.
Okay. Since Obama has been in office, the poverty rate has increased drastically and more than 1/3 of Americans are receiving federal benefits. Do you think there should be stricter regulations on receiving these benefits in order to decrease the number of citizens dependent on the government?
I personally believe so. I have seen a lot of instances where that system has been totally abused, and I feel like it's a great thing to have. However, it's not something that everybody needs. People who are homeless or they don't have jobs and they are at the loss of their luck, who actually need that for very strenuous reasons, I feel like they should get that. I feel like the government should be able to provide those services for in desperate times of need. However, I don't think it should be a kind of a lifetime support system. I've seen that in many cases, and making stricter regulation for this, for the applicants would decrease that and encourage more people to get jobs.
I agree with you in saying that the abuse of the system has been seen a lot, and to prevent this, I would reintroduce the upholding of the Personal Responsibility Act and Work Opportunity Act of 1996, because what it did was it created a work requirement for welfare that would end or that would begin after the second year of benefits. So those who remained unemployed after the second year of being on the program would be cut from the program, because I believe that the most effective source of aid for those less privileges comes from the voluntary efforts of private groups and individuals, and this can lead to a strengthened and more charitable society as a whole, as government activity is reduced in this realm.
Going off of what you said, the welfare system does need to be regulated because there are a lot of people who are taking advantage of it. And the way that these people can get off, because there are a lot of people on the welfare system right now that could work. I understand that there are some disabled Americans, there are some Americans that aren't physically or mentally able to work, and they do belong on the welfare system. But everyone else, they need to go out and get a job. And if we shrink the size of the government, shrink the size of the public sector, and make the private sector larger, increase the amount of job opportunities so that these people can go out and actually get jobs, then they will be able to get jobs, and they will be able to get off of welfare, and we won't have to spend our tax dollars on people who can work. Ronald Reagan said it best here again. He said the best cure to poverty is a job. It's simple. It's not welfare. If you can work, you should be working, because in the heart of every American there is a desire to work, to sacrifice, to contribute, and to succeed.
And just from personal experience, because I absolutely agree with both of you, I think you both made really great points, but from my own personal experience, as they're not glamorous jobs, but restaurant jobs hire all the time, and there are many working Americans who could go and find a restaurant job like that. I mean, the retention rate for restaurants are so low that they are desperately looking for people to work in these industries. So they could easily come in and get jobs and have a very valid and consistent wage.
What you were saying about the act that was passed to reform welfare, that is exactly what we need. We need the welfare program to be reformed so that people who are taking advantage, people who can work, should be working.
Okay. Thank you, Sydney, Casey, and Sarah, for your time.
And thank you for watching.